Okay.
Hi, good afternoon.
Good afternoon.
So, I have 20 questions to ask you. So, nagadepende ni siya sa topic, no? So, first thing foremost, so about siya sa career aspiration and future goals. So, my question number 1 is,
What do you envision yourself in the next 5 years? And how do you plan to achieve those goals?
So, malamang makagraduate jud og sa eskwela, makatrabaho, niya tabangan akong mga parents og samot na sab ang makaato jud og gawas. Gusto jud kong makatrabaho jud dito niya mag-travel.
First of all, if I ever makita na ako myself as a 5 years squad is maybe I become a successful.
Most likely I will be an IT specialist. And to do so, I should be graduated sa pag-eskwela na ako sa CSU. That's all.
How has your family or community influenced your career choices?
Firstly, my course karon is civil engineering. That was not my first choice. That was the least choice I've made in my life. And then, pretty much, since the opportunity na present man, since my sister is an architecture, so why not?
What skills do you think are most important for your future career?
Skills. Based from what I've observed in my current state, studying in civil engineering, I tend to do blunders or mistakes regarding on solving equations. So probably that's my number one prioritization in terms na mapadayon ako ni and then makuha na ako ang goal in the future, which is to become civil engineer. That's it.
Most likely the most important thing for my future career is my knowledge and skills.
another set of questions, 2 questions in this specific topic, so about education and learning experience. So, how do you feel your education is preparing you for the future workforce?
It is preparing me for my future because it teaches me how to do my job and to enhance my skills. And that's all.
Ako ang school, they tend to be very strict towards those in terms of sa ACADS. And medyo pressuring good siya and stress considering na top tier siya na school. And of course, if nag-school ka dito na university, you tend to bring results. And yeah, medyo pressuring siya pero it's fun.
What changes would you like to see in the school system to better prepare youth for real-world challenges?
Changes. I think wala ko'y makita na changes or lapses regarding sa studies or sa teaching sa CSU. And I think na it's okay lang na ma-pressure ang mga students considering na ingana good ang real world. So I think wala ko'y ma-change sa ilahang way of teaching. It's like that's the perfect thing you will do to teach students.
Have you ever felt that school did not address important life skills like financial literacy or emotional intelligence?
Not really because I'm libre man ko dito sa CSU. So most likely dili siya maka-affect sa ko.
I guess wala kay ko yung nakita so far. So far they tend to this, they like seem to be the perfect system na makita nimo sila. So I think they are not lacking anything so far.
How has social media influenced your self-image or the way you present yourself online?
For me is I mostly see on the social media is sometimes napoy part na it can affect sa imong health kay namogi part sa mga social media is na positive and na negative sa to. So na kanang how your kanang affect po na mostly po daw makon kay kanang ma-affect po siya sa imong mental health po. That's it.
Dagan may na-influence sa ako in terms sa social life na ako or in terms sa dito sa internet persona bali na ako. Pretty much na-sum up na ko siya into somewhat saba. Siguro, I don't tend to lie in terms of what I am and what I am capable of and what I have. So if you see me in the internet as that, then I present myself in front of you as this.
Do you think social media is more positive or negative for your generation? Why?
It's negative.
50-50?
Because lots of teenage karon grabe ka dedicative sa ilang dedicated sa ilang pag social media, like they post everything and buwa sila nagunahuna unsay mga risk sa ilang mga gipang post.
On the boundary between yes and no. Since that yes, it does have positive factors regarding on students, especially sa kanang naglisod. They can communicate, they can search, they can find possible ways to gain answers. On the other side, there is a downside to that factor, considering that we are able to access any kind of information on just the touch of our hand. So yeah, I think it's a double-edged sword. It serves us to protect and it can cause harm to you if you do it in a wrong way.
How do you balance staying connected online with maintaining healthy offline relationships?
Pag nakikita and good conversation personally, because good conversation gives or nang maghanap sa to healthy relationship.
I tend to do online activities regularly. So siguro I spend around 9 to 10 hours on screen time. But malagi na buhat yapon ako akong self to do things that are offline. Tend to read books sometimes. And if I'm being childish, I tend to play my toys. I find it relaxing and fun. So yeah.
Move to another topic, no? It's about peer pressure and decision making. So, have you ever felt pressured by your peers or classmates or friends to make decision you weren't comfortable with? How did you handle it?
Wala man sila pressure sa ko. I don't care what they say and yung sila makailabot sa ko.
Yes. Especially in terms of academic. Kaya I can't view myself on the same level as them. So I tend to go with the flow, to improvise, adapt to my natural surroundings. And there are times na ma-pressured ko, considering na labi na ng pag ako ang ma-leader. So I can't I can't really absorb anything and decide for myself. But what I tend to do is ask questions and opinions towards my peers, considering that this, if I have two options, is this good? What benefit can I get if we choose this? What good things can we, what good outcome do we get? And if we choose the other one, same question as the other one. So that's the same process.
Another one. What advice would you give to someone struggling with the peer pressure?
My advice would be stay positive and be yourself. Like, ayaw pang minawa ila mga pang sulti diha. Ayaw pagka-pressure and do everything you can para sa imong kagalingon.
Ayaw huna ka sila. Just do what you want to do. And if you want na ka nang to choose something that can benefit both you and them, you can ask them regarding what decision to choose. Especially sa kanang groupings ng mga activities. But in terms of individual, don't be pressured by them. Just do you.
How do you stay true to your values in the face of peer or societal pressure?
Societal pressure and peer. Well, sa akong values, my values are, one component sa akong values is to help other as much as I can. So, I don't know, if I got ma-pressure ko, I would still set it aside and still continue my values because bali sa teaching sa akong father and sa akong family, help as much as you can and help yourself also. So, mato siya.
How do you manage stress and anxiety as a young person?
Siyempre, matulog niya, mag-stress eating.
And have anxiety attacks, especially on public spaces, and pag kanang grabe na gid ang academic pressure sa ako. And I tend to cope with my anxiety by biting my nail, fixations, and other types of things that I can redirect my mind to avoid anxiety. But aside all of that, I tend to, on the good side rather, I tend to spend time with my family, spend time with my girlfriend, and yeah, they can help me relieve my stress and anxiety. So,
Long Gino, kay igo kay kuan no? Kay siyempre karon sisiyo murag kabag bag-o jud kay akong kanang nabag-o akong lifestyle kay stress pa dito kay siyempre prestigious school gid na kailangan jud ka og competitive ka dito and kailangan jud mo i-give your best. So
Do you think schools and workplaces do enough to address youth mental health? And what improvements would you suggest?
Judging from the question, no, I have been suffering, or I have suffered, past tense. I have suffered a few mental issues, or I think not mental issues, but I think self-diagnosed anxiety and probably depression, and I'm not that proud of it, no. Through the years, I've encountered that the school system doesn't necessarily, or doesn't address this kind of problems from students suffering with this type of mental issues. I have friends that have severe, and that are medically, medically kalimot ko sa term, but they are medically certified na kanang to have depression. I even have a friend that is na hospitalized tungod lang ana. I have friends with severe anxiety attacks and all those things. From the schools that I have been, none of them are really that into addressing these kind of issues. Not until someone or some person died regarding to this. And then, so what I want to change is that at least the school give an importance towards those kids that have those problems. So, especially in me, katong high school pa ko, no one gives an eye towards me. Kaya they see me as this joyful and happy.
It's not enough because some schools are stressing the students, and I would suggest that dapat maghatag sila consideration sa mga estudyante. Dapat ilang hunahon na sila man pod naniagi ana na adlaw, like na-stress pud sila katong nag-eskwela pa sila. So dapat hunahon po nila kung sa ko'y mabati pud sa estudyante kung ilang stresson pag-ayo.
Youth and activism. Do you feel that young people have enough influence in driving social change? Why or why not?
They do have, because sa atong generation, sukad sa pagkabata pa lang na influence sila sa social media, and I think enough na siguro kaya naman siguro na handle, pero not totally. Kailangan dyan po nila o guidance sa ilang mga gipambuhat sa social media, kay dagan tag risk pag mo cope up ta sa social media.
How do you participate in activism or advocacy, whether in person or online?
I have no comment regarding on that question.
Okay.
What social or political issues are most important to you and why? Again, what social or political issue are most important to you and why?
Fake news.
Bitaw, bitaw.
Kay tungod sa fake news, lahi atong ma-touch sa atong mga tao. Mato.
Ikaw. Diversity and inclusion. So, have you ever experienced or witnessed discrimination in school or social settings? How did you respond?
Yes, absolutely. Because na-experience mo na ako, no? Siguro na ako matabang na lang or ako ma-advise. Ako siyang istoryahon katong bully, or ako siyang i-confront na kung saan mali na yung gibuhat, or kung siya ang nasa na situation kung saan iya mabati.
I have observed lots of discrimination in terms of status, race, and ilahang history. I have friends na medyo nag-discriminate in terms of race, and naapoy uban na discriminate in terms of gender and preferences. Naapoy yung classmate na nag-discriminate to all kinds of things. Yes, friends gyapon nako sila, and I can proudly say na friends nako sila. Kay the things na they do is wala ko'y pake sa ila raman na. But the things that they do to others, medyo dira na ko mo step in. That's where the part na mo anak ko na, yo, that's far ayaw pagingana kay you're discriminating that person. You're probably hindering him to do things in life and probably can affect that person. So yeah, I probably tend to educate people regarding on those things that they discriminate. So in terms of race, tend to question them why they hate this and that, and then just give them a reality slap. And then if they have any discrimination towards genders, preferences, or those people having mental disorders, I tend to educate them as best as I can. And yeah, hopefully, ni-change man sila. So I think it's working pretty well.
What can schools and communities do to create a more inclusive space for youth of all backgrounds?
No? Siguro, what schools can create? Ano? Free school and like they do create now para sa CSU akong eskwelahan balance sila tanan walay dato walay pobre dawat tanan like pwede maka-eskwela dito ang pobre pwede pud maka-eskwela dito ang dato.
What are the pros and cons of relying on technology in education and social interaction?
Cons and the cons or the advantage cons ba?
Pros.
Pros muna. The advantage is it makes us
Easier.
mas easier atong lifestyle or sa especially sa work or sa atong pag-eskwela mas easy sa ato ang mga butang-butang kay mao mo gyud purpose ng technology no na it makes people easier it makes people lives easier di ba kay tama ka sa to para mo easy ang atong life and sa cons pod there are health issues like sa health issues na to na addiction and hindi na ito ma-manage atong time and also sa siguro sa mag-rely ta permian na mga butang ang atong skills di ma-improve.
So, ang pros sa technology is, syempre, as what I said ganina, is makatapang jud ang technology sa ato. Laban na kung mangita ka og mga answer sa Google. And then, the cons of it is, gamay na lang mag-ato ay sa mga school libraries, gamay na lang dyan magbasa og about sa social interaction, depende na lang ang mga students or uban ng mga tao sa social media.
Do you think today's youth are overly dependent on technology? And how can we strike a balance?
Yes, kay ang mga kabataan jud karon kay gabi na kayo nakadepende ra sila sa technology. At as said ganina na Google ra sila niya social media na pod kayo sila. So unsa man nato siya pag-balance no? So first is pwede ra nato siya gamitan ang technology for school purposes lang jud niya. Yeah, Marta.
Yes, especially me, I am depending on the technology and to balance it, I suggest that after you use the technologies or especially example AI, I am using AI into my code and I also balance with my skills code like mag-code sa ko una adisir ako ang ako na naibuhat akong code ipaindan sa kang AI like that mabalance na ato ang atong skills and knowledge. Yun.
Financial literacy and independence.
How do you manage your finances and what skills do you think are important for financial independence?
In terms of finance, gastaduro gig kay kung dako, dili na ako naitago. Proud ko ana. Sa akong 100 na baon, mahurot gid ako kay I tend to buy more foods. Pero napoy times na makatigom gid ko. And yeah, siguro ang skill lang gusto na ako ma-achieve or gusto na ako like kanang mag important pala sa ako is kanang consistency sa imong pagtigom kay that thing is very hard to do.
Do you feel that schools are doing enough to teach financial literacy to young people?
No. Wala jud kaayo kay sa akong experience dili kay sila mag-teach og financial literacy kay ang ilang i-focusan ang kitay IT ka then focus ra ka sa IT or sa mga mathematics and sa languages or mga history pero sa financial murag sa business ra man ata ra siya.
Shoot. At what age do you think young people should start learning about budgeting, saving, and investing?
Big topics na to, no? Investing, budgeting, and then sa itong isa?
Saving.
Saving. So, I believe na ang bata should be or capable ang bata to save his own money at the time na nana siya baon. Diri sa ato is probably around elementary. So, siguro dira na takabalo sa dira na dapat tudloan na to ang bata sa ang pag-save kay para dili gyud sila kay kung maabot sa time na pag-abot nila high school or college makadawat sila dako na kwarta, they are like overwhelmed with this amount of money and tend to gasto it there and here. And then sa budgeting, yeah, I believe na around siguro high school, they should learn how to budget their money, allowances to survive the month. The next is the investment. Siguro pag nana sila ay kwarta or pwede na po in early stage of life. Pero yeah, that's it.
How do you manage your finances and what skills do you think are important for financial independence?
So, ang pag-manage na ako sa akong mga gastohonan is, syempre, ang ako rang gamiton pang gasto is for pagkaon lang or sa mga sa akong tuition as private schools kung nag-eskwela din. Sa mga school supplies is kailangan din budget yun.
I would say 12 to 15 years old. Kay the more na makatuon kag sayo, mas maana dang mas maana din ko galingon sa pagdako nimo. So samtang sayo pa kailangan makatigon na ka magtipid or mag-save. Na di pa na ako sa galingon kay labaw po gastador. Okay.
Climate change and environmental awareness. So, do you think your generation is more environmentally conscious than previous ones? Why or why not?
No. Bila sa kaya mga kuan karon generation. Sa kuan karon no. Daghan kay basurahan pero di sila katigo mo segregate. And also sa diba dire man tayo po sa syudad. Makita po na ako na dating basura magkanat bisasa. And naman nung tayo mga basurahan sa bisnasa dapat ilang lang ilabog diha.
Have. Yeah, I believe ko na kana sila mostly kita are those people to be more aware and more concerned than the previous So I believe na we will be the agent of changes towards the betterment of our generation and for the future of our world. That's it.
Do you feel that schools are doing enough to teach financial literacy to young people?
I have no opinion on that.
At what age do you think young people should start learning about budgeting, saving, and investing?
So as much as possible jud is kailangan jud bata pa lang ay is gina-train na sa mga parents ang pag-budget sa ilang mga anak kay para in the future dili na sila magpataka-taka og gasto.
Yeah. How concerned are you about climate change, and what actions do you take to reduce your environmental impact?
So how concerned I am? Pretty much I am concerned kay say nagpuyo ra matag isa ka earth, and what they do can cause harm to all of us. And yeah, concern lang gid kayo kay considering na a lot of ices on the ice on the polar part of the earth are melting, so that's alarming. And then considering na ang Butuan is below sea level, so kung madaghan ang tubig sa earth, Butuan will become an underwater city, the second known city to be underwater, Malaysia. And if next part sa question is what things or unsa ako ang mabuhat is, since student pa man ko, I can limit myself to those basic tasks like cleaning and reuse bato mga 3 R's bali, recycle, reuse, or same rather sa idea bali nga na basta. That's it. Pansit.
What role do you think youth should play in addressing global environmental issue? Again, what role do you think youth should play in addressing global environmental issue?
They should be more aware sa atong environment, like dapat kabalo sila unsay buhaton sa atong environment para makatabang sila, magtanom sila or magmangita sila basura, ilang labog sa sakto, and magtabang sila community service sa atong environment.
Yes and no. Kay sa akong observation dito sa CSU, naagyapoy uban mga bata or students dahil kabalo mo clean after themselves pag manalagkaon. Especially ang school kay bali ang city bali is nagpractice na og clean as you go. So uban siguro dili concern lang sila pag naanay news or maybe for cloud chase. And napoy uban na kanang serious gid sila in terms ana kay makita man gid mga uban tao na mulabay gid silang trash sa sakto na butanganan. And that's it. Pansit.
How do you feel technology has shaped your learning and social experiences as a young person?
So for me as a college student, kapilid kaayo ka importante sa amo ang technology. Samot na kung mag-research ka, so just one click lang jud maka-search jud ka sa Google, or pwede na ka makapangutana kang ChatGPT or kang CC.
Do you think social media is more positive or negative for your generation? Why?
For me is pwede po siya ma-positive and negative. First of all, kay ang social media mo gyud na po siya positive and na po siya negative. First of all, ang positive is it can help you to sa imong mga assignments, sa imong mga works, because sa una mong gyud is like more on books lang niya, medyo lisod kay siya pangitaon. Unlike karon, if kung say i-search mo, gawas na siya sa Google or whatever pa na siya like then ang sa negative lang is namogi part pod sa social media is kanang how it affect your mental health, and napod siya pagka naiuban pod mga negative is like kanang bad influence siya kung saan makita nimo sa social media, kay namong part mong gid na kanang sa social media na naa siya pagka bad influence. So that's it.
How do you balance staying connected online with maintaining healthy relationships offline?
Very conscious ako kan. Actually, di gid ako mabalanse ang pag social kuan sa social media and social kuan sa life kay actually magud kay mas focus ko sa social media kaysa akong social life kay grabe gid grabe gid ang technology current like maka-addict gid siya like to the point na wala na kay time mag-exercise, magkuan sa imong health kay actually mo gyud ka nang napod siya ma-impact sa kuan sa imong cellphone like ma-addict na ka wa na kay time sa imong pag take care sa imong self. So sa ako lang is this siya ma-balance siya pero it depends man gid na sa person how you balance it sa imong social online and sa social of kanang social life nimo. So
Do you think schools and workplaces do enough to address youth mental health?
for me is kanang dili po siya makuan kay actually sa school napoy part na mga bullying, mga body shaming, di na maiwasan especially kanang racist na mga tao. Dili na siya makuan dili na siya makakuan then ang sa work di pud kay na siya makuan po. And actually sa school pwede po na siya makuan sa imong stress kay school is a very stress talaga and it can really affect your mental health and your health and especially same ra pud sa work na ma-stress ka maka-affect po
So,
siya.
thank you for accepting my request to interview. No? Thank you.
What do you envision yourself doing in the next 5 years and how do you plan to achieve those goals? I envision myself na mahimo kong successful and hoping na makagraduate ko sa akong course which I'm in my 3rd year now. And yeah, I plan on paningkamot lang. Next, number 2, how has your family or community influenced your career choices? So, I think akong family ang nag-push sa ako in choosing IT as my career and not picking the biology course instead because they said it's not practical enough to be on a in-demand job sa international, whether it's kuan man diri sa Pilipinas man. So next, what skills do you think are most important for your future career? So my future career as an IT programming student, maybe it critical thinking skills and problem solving skills are essential in this field and I think it will benefit me into the future and those skills are necessary for the for every person who acquired the same course as me. Kung magkuha na sila sa company, magkuha na sila job sa company and yeah, it's essential. Fourth question. How do you feel your education is preparing you for the future workforce? No comment. Fifth, what changes would you like to see in the school system to better prepare youth for real world challenges? I think long story short, maybe sa akong school, akong eskwelahan karon, I think um, the facilities is what they are lacking right now. So mo na akong kuan nila. I think just add a little bit more facilities and yeah, kanang related lang sa mong course no, because dili enough lang para sa ako. Maybe my fellow colleagues, pero sa ako dili. Okay, sixth, have you ever felt that school did not address important life skills like financial literacy or emotional intelligence? No, I do not say na ang among school wala nagpabaya sa amo. I have it notations because the instructors taught us how to like, for example, how to use that line of code or unsa ba, like discarte. Yeah, and financial literacy, yes. Every event sa school, they have held so many seminars, and financial literacy is one of them. And in emotional intelligence, no, I have no idea what that is. Seventh, how has social media influenced your self-image or the way you present yourself online? Basta ko lang, I'm not frequent in using social media. Labi na og magpakita sa unang. I rarely post online with my face on it. Okay, posting pictures, wala, dili ko na bet na ako well, mag-scroll sa social media all hour long. Yeah, that is undeniable, pero I admit po na dili po ko ga post ring ana, and yeah, mo siguro to. 8, do you think social media is more positive or negative for your generation? Why? I think using social media should be used in moderation, because I have heard a lot of people, na mura sila apektado sila uh, sa ilang mental health because of people posting videos of themselves and where they are now, and yeah, showing money or where they at, yeah, as stated previously. And I think people watching it on that vid really affects their mental health. Like, they even made the word fear FOMO, fear of missing out. So mo na no, yeah, it should be used in moderation. There are positive sides, but usually I only see the negatives. Yeah. 9, how do you balance staying connected online with maintaining healthy offline relationships? Yeah, as stated previously, it should be used in moderation. 10th question, have you ever felt pressured by your peers to make decisions you weren't comfortable with? How did you handle it? Have you ever felt pressured by your peers to make decisions you weren't comfortable? Yes, I have encountered that hundreds of times. Oh my god, my speech is affecting. Yeah, every time my friend, no, daily specific friend, generally lang, most of my friends try to invite me or join me for an outing, and when I say no and they keep on persuading me, like, come on Charles, kuan naman hapon na naman tamo uli, which is I will ako, pag dili ko comfortable sa ilaha, and when they said about, when they plan about something, or planning about going somewhere, and then I do not, and then when I don't feel the vibe, I don't get the vibe, I usually default to no. So mona akong kung I handled it not very not very gracefully, I think, but yeah, next time maybe I will try to be frank on telling them that no, just no, straight up no, flat no. Okay. 12th question. What advice would you give to someone struggling with peer pressure? Don't stress it out. I mean, yeah, don't stress it out. Don't stress it out just because you're in college and just because you're you're doing a pile of homeworks, projects, or unsa pa diha, especially me sa akong course karon, which is programming and exam. It will be capstone for us. Yeah, it's very stressful, but sometimes stress eating is much more of an option than to yeah, that's it, stress eating. Sa mga sa mga tao ron nag-struggle, yeah, don't stress it out. And just go with the flow. And someday you'll find it more relaxing. Ayaw mo nang giingon nila diya na ayaw problema ha ang nasa umaabot. Problema ha lang ang karon, kay lahi ang problema ugma ug sa sunod adlaw. Wisdom. 13th question. How do you stay true to your values in the face of peer or societal pressure? I'm still not open with this, so I just got up thing to no comment. 36, 9. Yeah. So that must be the 12th question. I'm mistaken. So dirita sa diversity and conclusion, which is 14th question for me, is how important is it for you to work or study in an environment that values diversity and inclusion? Yeah, for me it's really really important for me, because naiuban dito sa gawas ko na dili sila ma-include sa usa ka like for example, just try to illustrate something like a friend group, diba? Unya katong isa ka tao gusto maki-join nila, pero ang uban, pero mostly sa mga friend groups dili sila magpasulod og taon na dili nila kayo kaila, so mo na ang inclusion exclusion di bali, or more like something called prejudice or racism. Yeah, I'm not entirely sure about any. I'm still not getting this topic. So maybe let's move on to the another topic, which is technology and its role in your life. 15th question. No. 14th question a day. How do you feel technology has shaped your learning and social experiences as a young person? How do you feel technology has shaped your learning? Yeah, technology is really affecting me so much, whether mapa social media man or doing homeworks, because sometimes, no, rather mostly magdalay na jud ko og AI for doing my homework, which is kind of a bummer. I really don't like, you know, I'm still really struggling on how to be independent, and or how to control using technology when doing all of your homeworks, projects, because umabot ang panahon na magtrabaho na ka and yeah, did you get the idea? Mabot ang panahon na magtrabaho na ka and you're still relying on technology and doing, you know, usual jobs, usual work sa imong job nimo. So mo na ang giikuan na 15. What are the pros and cons of relying on technology in education and social interactions? Yeah, it helps us greatly na maka-advance mi sa among homeworks, and sometimes we study in advance so that for tomorrow we can answer some questions raised by our instructors about this type of topic and that another type of topic. And the cons is that too much relying on technology could what's that word, could make us be more tardy. Yeah, it will increase our tardiness level. Bisag imbis tapulan na ka, mahimo pa kang tapulan tungod kay nag-rely na ka sa technology. Okay? Do you think today's youth are overly dependent on technology? How can we strike a balance? No, I have no idea how to balance it. Maybe depende ra yun na sa tao, no? Mapa e-games man or mapa binge watch man, though kung mag binge watch ka for some occasions naman, pero mostly sa academics, we really have to balance using technology for our homework and or instead just manually research kung unsa na siya na topic para, you know, at least na jud kay makuan, at least na kay matun-an ba without using AI specifically. Move on to financial literacy and independence. Do you feel that schools are doing enough to teach financial literacy to young people? Yes. AMA has held so many seminars regarding on financial literacy, so no, I won't say that wala nagkulang ang AMA. Okay? How do you manage your finances, and what skills do you think are important for financial independence? Saving. One word lang. At what age do you think young people should start learning about budgeting, saving, and investing? As much as possible, as early as possible rather. Please teach your children simbako in a very young age, and at young age na i-praktisan sila na mausahon sila pag-ipon, mag-budget, and how to be not a spendthrift person in the future. So I guess that's it. So climate change, lastly, environmental awareness. How concerned are you about climate change, and what actions do you take to reduce your environmental impact? You know, if I were an activist, dili gid na siya magmatter. Actions do matter, dili lang kay words. Kay kung activities magyaw-yaw ka diha, pero ang government wala. So I think to alleviate the climate change, ang atong buhaton lang good is dispose properly, and clean your surroundings, and stop kaingin, and stop, making up bonfires like dead leaves, kay kana siya mag-emit magud og carbon dioxide, which is magkuan og greenhouse effect, which mag-affect po ang ozone layer. So yeah. Second, do you think your generation is more environmentally conscious than previous ones? Why or why not? I can't say na mas environmentally conscious ang atong generation karon than the previous ones, because I haven't, I haven't seen the point of view sa mga previous generations like Gen X, Gen Y, baby boomers. But I think they're already, acknowledge climate change. So yeah, I can't say na mas environmentally conscious ang atong generation karon, because before we were even born, nanagid ang climate change. Okay. Lastly, what role do you think youth should play in addressing global environmental issues? What role do you think youth should play in addressing global environmental issues? I cannot answer this technically, because the question is too technical also. So I guess no comment. So I think that's it. Bye.